Stephanie here at Southern Oklahoma Library System, and today I am bringing you a little STEM challenge that you can do at home with your kids to give them something to do, keep them busy. It's educational, and it's going to talk about the strength of the shapes. So to do this challenge, all you have to do, I purchased some mini marshmallows, some large marshmallows, some fruit slices, jelly beans, and toothpicks. You can also use dry spaghetti noodles if you don't have toothpicks or you can't find them at the store. You can use any kind of candy or that you want to use, whatever you find at the store, what you might have at your house. So today we're going to talk about those strengths of shapes. So when you build bridges, you're going to notice that there's always common shapes in them. You're always going to have your rectangles and your triangles and your arches. So here's some more pictures. Some rectangles, that has this little cross that makes another triangle in it. Octagon, which is a bunch of several triangles put together. 6 triangles in there. And then there's your roller coaster. Again, there's your triangles and your rectangles. So based on those pictures, can you guess probably what your strongest shape's going to be? It is the triangle. The triangle is the strongest shape. So we have the strength of the shapes. So you can always have your child sketch on their paper what you think will happen to these shapes if you apply the force to them. Right here at the point where it's in green. So if you push on a square or if you push on this diamond or a triangle, what do you think would happen to these shapes if something really heavy pushed down on them to crush them? Well, you will see that your square will slant, your diamond will be smushed, but your triangle will still stay the same. That is because the triangle is the only shape that won't collapse. So you want to know why? The other shapes collapse because the angles between the structural members, they change. There's nothing to support them. So you're going to shift back and forth. The triangle cannot collapse because the angles are fixed based on the opposite side length. So you have an A, and its opposite's going to be A B, and the C. So the relative strength of shapes. All other shapes can be deformed because the angles are not fixed. So if you draw these shapes in a way that'll keep them from collapsing. So you'll notice if you draw them just normal, they will collapse, and this is the way they'll collapse. This one slants, this one just, you can't even recognize their shapes. So how do you keep them from collapsing? You have to add a triangle into them. So you have to add that support. So if you took this shape and you added a triangle in it, and the same here and here, those shapes then become stronger. So here's the same thing in a 3D sample. Here's your square, and it doesn't have that triangle support in it, so it just kind of fell over. So, and here's the same thing that applies in 3D. So here you have your square base, but they've used the triangles to be sturdier, so that's more supportive. So when you're going to do this challenge that I'm fixing to show you how to do, some of the questions, you can ask your kid as they start to build or before they build and after they build. You're going to want to ask them, what shapes can you make with your marshmallows or toothpicks? Which of these shapes will be the strongest? You can wobble them and wiggle them to find out. And then you need to think of a plan and then begin building it. So have them sketch out maybe their bridge or their tower, whatever they're planning on building, and let them, decide how many triangles or rectangles that they need to make it very sturdy. And then you just have them take the challenge. And then after building it, you can have them measure their height of their structure. You can note the data. You can discuss their observations with them. Like what strategies did they use? What worked? What didn't work? You know, did different textures or shapes of the surfaces, did that make a difference? And then have the students consider ways to improve their earlier design or approach, and then have them try it again. So if it wasn't sturdy, ask them how they can improve it, and then kind of have them rebuild it. And then discuss the results after that. So this is just a fun little educational thing you can do with your children. It's a yummy one, so that's my favorite part, is that as you build, you can eat them, and when you're done, you can eat your structures. So I've made a few little small examples for you. I've done the big one with the marshmallows, just did a triangle. This one I did with the fruit slices. This one was with the little marshmallows, and this one was with the jelly beans. So as they build and they use different materials, you know, different marshmallows or candy or whatever you give them, you can ask them, why do you feel like this one was more solid? Is it because it was thicker? Was it because they had a flat surface? You know, were they better than the marshmallows because the marshmallows were not all even? Marshmallows are different shapes, you know, some are kind of flat, some are more round. And the same with the jelly beans. Did they work better than the little marshmallows? And why do you think that they worked better? And in the real world, if you were going to build a bridge, what do you think would work better? Metal, because it's going to be a more solid, sturdy, or maybe like a wood, which is going to be like the marshmallows and eventually give out over time. So those are just questions that you can ask your children as they're building them and getting creative. You know, trial and error is the best part. That's how they learn. You know, if it don't work, they try it another way and they just keep going. So encourage them to not give up and just, you know, if one doesn't work, try it this way. But don't actually do it for them. Let them just be creative about it. So here's some other things that I printed off for you, and we will post all these on our Facebook, the pictures of it, so you can go back and look. So we got just your basic shapes that you could do maybe if you have smaller children in the lower elementary age. That will be easy, and then you can work on their shape identification at home. Here's when you start getting more of your 3D. Here's a pretty advanced one here. And here's another advanced one, and you can see on this one that this child used lots of triangles when she built her sculpture. And therefore it was really sturdy, and she's able to build it really high. And the same with this one. You'll notice again, lots of triangles are in there. Here's one with gumdrops. Here's another one with marshmallows. Again, lots of triangles and squares in there. And here's a tower. So those are just a few examples of what the kids can build at home. This is very cheap for you, and you know, I think the kids will really enjoy it. We did it here at the library and the kids loved it. So I hope this gives y'all something to do over the weekend at home with your family, and I hope y'all all have a wonderful weekend. Check out our YouTube channel that we started. We have been posting all of our programs on there, our story times, crafts. There's several videos on there now, so check that out. And don't forget to fill out your census because it's important. Thank you.